part 2 on the credit lecture where I left you off. Dumb things you shouldn't do. So quick review on that. Okay. Budget. You need to budget. Okay. Don't spend more than you can afford, right? Which is a problem that lots of us have. Make sure you shop around, get the best rates and interest rates and service fees and everything on any loans you take out and any credit cards you take out. Protect yourself from fraud, right? Sign up for outside credit monitoring if you want, but you can also stay on top of that yourself by requesting your credit reports and reviewing them, by looking at every statement, by shredding the stuff that you don't need to keep around. And don't apply for multiple credit cards in a short period of time. That looks risky, right? So those are things to avoid. Let's talk specifically about credit cards real quick. Some terms to know. Okay, I said this in the last lecture, but debit cards are not the same as credit cards. Debit cards generally use money from your checking account to make purchases. Credit cards are based on credit, not necessarily what's in your account. Annual fees. Once a year cost of owning a credit card. Some credit cards providers offer cards with no annual fees. I don't pay an annual fee on either of the 2 credit cards I have. I didn't think that. I give them enough interest payments and stuff like that when I'm paying off my credit cards. I didn't think I needed to offer them, pay them fees too. That's just something personally I didn't want to do. But some cards that offer like really good rewards packages, some of the big Sky Miles cards or whatever, they often have once a year fees like $90, $100. So that's something to look at. Your APR, your annual percentage rate, the yearly interest rate charged on outstanding credit card balances. Your balance is the amount of money, right, that you owe on your card, right? In personal banking, your balance refers to the money in your account. In credit, it amounts to the amount of money owed. Your credit bureau is a reporting agency that collects information on consumer credit usage. There are currently 3 main credit bureaus in the United States: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Credit line is the maximum dollar amount that can be charged on a specific credit card account. Credit rating, a financial institution's evaluation of an individual's ability to manage debt. It's crucial to have a good credit rating if you want to borrow money or apply for a credit card or a loan. We talked about how to improve it earlier, but there's a link there as well. Grace period, the period of time after a payment deadline when the borrower can pay back the borrowed money without incurring interest or a late fee. Introductory rate, an interest rate offered by a credit card issuers in the initial stages of a loan. These rates are often set much lower than the standard rates in order to attract new cardholders. Make sure you know how long the introductory rate will last and what the standard interest rate will be when the introductory period ends. So you'll see a lot of stores specifically will say, hey, if you take out this Cabela's card, then you won't have to pay any interest for your first year on any of the credit you use on it, right? Which could be good, right? Because obviously good for that year. But what you need to do is look at the fine print and see what the interest rate becomes after that year is over. It might become 30%. It might only become 7%. But that increase might be so big that it might be better for you just to get a credit card with a lower rate that doesn't give you a free year or whatever, right? Minimum payments, okay, the minimum amount of money that you are required to pay on your credit card statement each month in order to keep the account in good standing. Overdraft protection, okay, a banking service that allows you to link your checking account to your credit card, thereby protecting you from overdraft penalties or bounced checks in the case of insufficient funds. That's something that you should ask your bank about when you're opening up your bank accounts and stuff like that. You want overdraft protection. Every once in a while, it's happened to me too, where I don't realize how much money is in the account when I make some payments, and I pay more than I can, right? I run out of money. But it can be linked to your credit card. It can also be linked to your savings account, and it can pull that overdrafted money out and save you from penalties. All right, credit cards. Credit cards provide security, convenience, and even rewards based on spending. However, if cardholders don't manage their cards carefully, they might find themselves facing unwanted consequences like a poor credit score or hidden fees. So, the pros and cons of credit. To make the most of your credit cards and maintain a great credit score, it's essential to understand the pros and cons. Maximize the benefits and minimize unnecessary costs. By learning about this stuff. So advantages, instant purchasing power. Credit can help with unexpected emergency expenses and give you the flexibility to pay them over time. When we were talking about saving last week, I told you about 60% of Americans could not afford a surprise $1,000 bill. Right? Credit cards might allow you the ability to pay that $1,000 bill and then pay it down over time because you don't have $1,000 cash or something, right? Security. If you lose your cash, it's gone forever. If you lose a credit card, it can be canceled with no harm done in most circumstances. Also, you need to be prompt about reporting a lost or stolen card to be protected against its unauthorized use. Record keeping. Your credit card statement is an itemized list of all the things you buy, which can be helpful when it comes to budgeting. Convenience. Okay, credit cards are more widely accepted as a form of payment than checks, and they're generally faster to use. Yeah, not that many people use checks anymore in standard buying things, right? You still use it to pay. Some people use it to pay rent or to pay bills or whatever, but you don't really see a lot of people writing checks at the grocery store anymore. Credit cards are a lot easier. Bill consolidation. Bills can be paid automatically via credit card. You can consolidate several payments into a single one if you want, but automatic bill pay on your credit card is awesome. Man, it makes it easy for you not to have any late payments, right? My car payment comes out every month on the 5th. It charges against my card or whatever, or out of my bank account for that one since it's a loan. But say things like, I used to have Spotify Premium, right? Spotify Premium would charge me every month on my credit card. Same with Netflix or whatever, right? But it gets paid, right? So it makes it look like you're paying your obligations and you pay off your credit card, and it helps build your credit. And you make sure, it really does make sure you don't have late payments, which is huge in making sure your credit score stays high. Rewards. Using a credit card with a rewards program may earn you benefits like free travel. Okay. The reason I have 2 credit cards is I was going to go to Europe. I went to Europe with one of my best friends, and Chase Bank, which is a huge bank, offered some very specific things that would make traveling abroad much easier than using my Discover card. It also had a bunch of travel benefits, right? So like if I buy a bank, or not a bank, if I buy a plane ticket on my Chase card, I get extra rewards, right? So right now I have something like $800 worth of travel dollars that I can use to buy flights, I can buy hotels, I can do all that sort of stuff with it, and we're kind of just waiting for the right time to use that. So that's a bonus you get from credit cards. If I had paid for everything in cash, I wouldn't have that extra reward. Disadvantages. The main disadvantage of a credit card is the potential cost in interest and fees. When using a credit card, you need to keep this in mind, okay? Because when you buy something, right, on credit, if you don't pay it off every month, then you also have to pay the interest, right? Which means that you're going to pay more than just whatever something cost. You're paying what it cost plus the interest. There was a great commercial. If I can find it on YouTube, I'll attach it to this, but it shows how much that laptop might actually cost if it takes you such amount of time to pay it off, right? So keep track of your spending to ensure you can repay your credit card, and then that way you have to worry about the interest, okay? Other thing, make sure you spend within your means. Budget, 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 okay? So take a look at this chart. Okay? It shows how much extra you might pay on a $1,000 credit card purchase with varying interest rates, right? So the first one, credit card, the APR is 10%. Your monthly payment is $40. The number of months it would take to pay off that balance is 29 months. Okay, total finance charge would be $126. So instead of spending $1,000 on this thing that costs $1,000, you're spending $1,126. If your if your APR is 15%, you're still making a $40 minimum payment. It'll take you 31 months. It'll be an extra $207 to $1,200, $1,207 instead of $1,000. If your APR is even higher, 25%, you're still making your $40 minimum payment. It's going to take you 36 months. That's 3 years to pay off this $1,000 charge. The finance charge on that's $427. You end up spending $1,427 on that $1,000 charge, right? Because of the interest, because of the finance charges that get you. So that's something to think about, right? That's something every time you make a payment, try to pay stuff, or try to make a purchase, try to pay stuff off faster. This is why. All right, with that said, that's the end of this lecture. Okay, there will be an attached quiz to this as always. Enjoy.